It's normal for new drivers to struggle with the gear stick. They can get the wrong gear sometimes and they can find it stiff and awkward, but it doesn't need to be difficult. In this video, I'm not going to be using the learner card because it has a reflective gear knob which is difficult to film. Instead, I'll be using this, a Mazda MX-5. Its gear knob is much easier to see on camera. If you're looking for a video on when to change gears, I'll leave a link up there in the top right hand corner of your screen. This video is focused on how to actually move the stick. Nearly all manual cars these days have one of these, a H pattern gear stick. If I cover up these lines and numbers, you can see the letter H in between the numbers. But cars have more gears these days, so, well, they had to make more space. Most cars have between 5 and 6 gears. Reverse can be in different places. But what's important to understand is that when the gear stick is in neutral, which it is now, it's between 3 and 4, and it self-centers in neutral. That's important because if you want to find gear 3 or 4, it will show you where the middle is, so you can go forwards for 3 and backwards for 4. If it didn't show you where the middle is, you will be trying to guess where that is, and you might end up getting 5 or you might end up getting 1 when actually you wanted 3. If you want gears 1 and 2, fully left, hold it left, don't let it go back to the middle. See, a lot of people do that, they let it go back to the middle. No, hold it left and then forwards for 1, and then for 2, hold it left and pull it back for 2. If you want to go from 2 to 3, let it show you the middle, so push it forwards gently until it pops to the middle. Now you know where 3 is, you simply just push it forwards and it goes into 3, and 4, you just push it backwards for 4. For 5 and 6, let it show you the middle again, then hold it hard right and forwards for 5, and hold it hard right and backwards for 6. In this car, reverse is over to left and forwards, but you can't get to reverse no matter how hard you push left unless you push down. Then it goes further to the left, and that's how you access reverse in this car. Some cars you push down, some you pull up, and in BMWs and Minis you simply push very, very hard to left, and that will allow you to go further to left to get reverse. But reverse can be in different places. Look at your gear knob so you know where it is. Here are some examples of where new drivers go wrong when using the gear stick. Most don't have a problem getting gear 1, usually they're stationary and not under pressure. But when it comes to going from gear 1 to 2, instead of holding it hard left and making sure it stays in the left gate or bank, whatever you want to call it, and get gear 2, what they do is they hold it to the left a little bit, not hard enough, it springs a little bit into the middle, and then it gets stuck between 2 and 4, and they pull back really hard, and at the moment it's not moving, and often it's pot luck as to whether it eventually goes into, well, it's not going at all in this time, but that time it was 4, and sometimes it can get 2. So make sure when you go from 1 to 2 you hold it hard left so it stays in the left gate, and then you get 2. Another mistake they make is when they go from 2 to 3. Instead of listening to the gear stick and letting it show them where the middle is to get 3, they grip it hard and try and guess where the middle is, and they end up either getting 1, 3 or 5. Make sure you let the gear stick show you where the middle is. Let go of it in the middle, then you know it is self-centered. From 3 to 2 is another mistake. Usually approaching junctions, they're under pressure and they want to get to 2 quick and they just go into 4. That happens a lot. Experienced drivers tend to hold the gear stick left as they pull it back, and they can kind of go diagonally into second, but it doesn't often work for new drivers. My advice is to pull it back, let go of it so it has self-centered, then fully left, and then back. And yes, normally I would have my palm on the gear stick when using it, but I'm doing this just so you can see the numbers. Here are some tips to help you with the gear stick. You need to know when to be firm and when to let go. You need to be firm when you're holding the gear stick either left or right. You hold it left to go between gears 1 and 2, and you hold it right to go between gears 5 and 6. But if you don't hold it right or left fully and you let it go into the middle just a little bit, you may get one of the middle gears, which is obviously not the gear you intended if you're holding it left or right. You also need to know when to let go of the gear stick. You need to let go when you're changing between the banks. So you've got your left bank, which is 1 and 2, your middle bank, which is 3 and 4, and your right bank, which is 5 and 6. If you're changing between these banks, I recommend letting go of the gear stick in neutral, and I'll show you why now. So I'm in gear 4, which is the middle bank, and I want to go to gear 5 which is the right bank. I push it forwards, let go, go right, and then forwards for gear 5. What my pupil can do sometimes is instead of pushing it forwards and letting go, they lean on the gear stick and push it forwards just that little bit extra. Not much, just that much. But if you do that, when you go right, it will go right and left, but not all the way. So they think they've gone right to go to 5, they push it forwards and they end up in 3 because they're stuck in 3. What they should do is push it forwards, let go, so it is the middle, not there, but here, and now it goes all the way to the right, and they can actually get gear 5. And that's true for any gear when they're changing banks. So I want to go to gear 4, push it back, let go, that's definitely the middle now, and back. Want to go to gear 2, push it forwards, it's definitely the middle now, it's not here where it won't go to the left, it's definitely the middle, now it goes to the left, and gear 2. Let go at neutral, and it will be neutral, and that will help you get the gear you want. This seems to solve most of my pupils' gear troubles. Of course, when I say let go, I don't mean put your hand back on the steering wheel or move your hand up in the air like this. Sometimes my pupils do that when I give them this advice. You just need to release the gear stick. Your hand can still be over the gear stick, but you literally just release it and then push it where you want to push it. So you're only just letting go of it a little bit. There only needs to be millimeters of clearance between your hand and the gear stick when you do this. By far and above, the best piece of advice I can give you is to take your time. If you're trying to do it quickly and all at once, you're likely going to get the wrong gear and it's not going to be very smooth. If you're struggling to change gears when approaching junctions, I recommend slowing down earlier. This will give you more time to get the correct gear. That way, you're more likely to get the correct gear, but it will increase your confidence, and also doing it correctly improves your skill. If you want a video on how to change gears smoothly, I'll leave a link to one in the top right hand corner of your screen. Well, I hope this video helps. If you think it does, please give it a thumbs up. And if you're looking for car insurance, check out the links to Collingwood and Confused in the description. If you're learning to drive and want to insure yourself on somebody else's car, Collingwood are there for you, because you can do so without affecting the owner's policy, taking away a big stress from the owner of that vehicle. At the moment, there's up to 35% off and a £20 Amazon gift card via the link. If you're insuring your own car, I recommend checking out the link to confused.com. You fill out one quote form and get loads of quotes back from many different insurers to compare who's cheapest. And you can change your car on that quote as many times as you like to compare how much it costs to insure different cars, which makes it a really useful tool. Using the links doesn't cost you anything, but it does support the channel, so thank you very much. Subscribe to get my future videos, and until the next one, cheerio.